Beth Jacobson.
I'm Pam Lathrop.
And we're here today at the Vision Center filming the November edition of the Beloit Today show.
I feel like we're here with a cast of thousands.
We are. This is one of the doors from the door campaign.
This was the hidden secret door.
It was. And where was it hidden?
Out in the gateway.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So this is down at the Vision Center if you'd like to come in and visit it and see it and get pamphlets on any trips you might be taking this winter.
And are they selling posters of the doors?
They are. There is a poster of the doors. It's a poster that shows images of all the doors that were up, and you can come down here and buy it. I think I can't remember the cost, maybe $5 or $10, but our friends at the Vision Center can help you out with that.
Absolutely. So what's on our show today?
Well, today we're going to talk to Mark Spreitzer. He is our council president, and he's going to talk about the spring election for city council members because we have some openings.
Yes, absolutely. We need to get those filled.
That's right.
And I am going to interview Shauna Elamine. She's the executive director with the Downtown Beloit Association. She has a couple of exciting events coming up.
Yes, I know that the Grand Lighted Parade is one of my favorites.
Oh, mine too.
It's always cold, but it's so fun, and I like all the lights and the kids, and everyone's happy, and there's hot chocolate, and
I'm like a child. I just love all that stuff.
Yes. And our last interview is at the library.
It's with Vicki Hunt. She's going to talk about the warming tree, which used to be called the mitten tree. So now they don't do just mittens, so they want everyone to know that they can donate other things.
And this is
Vicki will tell us all about that.
Right, that's the nice part of the holidays is helping out our friends in need. So stay tuned for our show.
I'm here today with Shauna Elamine. She's the executive director of the Downtown Beloit Association. And this is coming up on my favorite time of year. We have a lot of exciting events to talk about today. Let's start with the Grand Lighted Holiday Parade.
Great, it's the day after Thanksgiving. Can you believe it's November already and we're talking about these things? But it is also my favorite time of the year too. So day after Thanksgiving, some people say Black Friday. We say no, Grand Lighted Holiday Parade. So we definitely have a lot going on that night, starting at 5 o'clock when Santa comes, and then the parade starts right after that. So he magically lights the tree. All the kids love that. We do have free hot chocolate.
Wait a minute. The adults love it.
The adults love it too. I love it too, yes. It's the magical time of year. And then free hot chocolate from Salvation Army right at First National Plaza. But you can definitely go all the way from 3rd Street on Grand Avenue all the way down to Horace White Park. You can spread out and look at the parade if you don't really want to be in the cluster.
But it's warmer in the cluster.
It is warmer in the cluster.
Yes. Some years it's a little bit chilly, but once you get downtown, I think it's the adrenaline and the excitement and the warmth of the whole event just carries you through. So don't let the weather scare you.
And then have some free hot chocolate.
Absolutely.
To warm you up.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And then after the parade,
you can go to Turtle Creek Bookstore starting around 7 o'clock. We're not really, sure exactly what time the parade gets over. Around 7 o'clock, and you can get your pictures taken with Santa and Mrs. Claus there. So there will be some free cookies there for your enjoyment as well. So some of our sponsors give little tidbits along the way. So it's really nice surprises.
That's fun. And are you going to have the window decorating contest again?
Oh, of course. Yeah, they should all be decorated by Grand Lighted Holiday Parade. So the businesses out there, you better get a move on. And then we announced the winner at Holidazzle. So you'll be able to see the windows and go out there and judge for yourself. There will be a People's Choice Award and a Judge's Award. So
okay, but how do people vote for the People's Choice Award?
You can go on Facebook, Downtown Beloit, or you can call us, 365-0150, or you can email us. So just check out our Facebook page or our website.
Okay, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
And I think that the lights are going to go up pretty soon in downtown Beloit.
Yeah, within the next week or so. Yeah, and Ironworks Hotel, their lights are going up on all their trees as we speak right now. So hopefully they'll all be lit by then too. So definitely everything decorated before Grand Lighted Holiday Parade. That is our deadline.
It's very sparkly.
Very nice. I love it down here. It's just magically beautiful.
I think so too. And then in December, you have another fun event. Speaking of sparkling and dazzling.
Yes, the very next Friday. Friday, actually after Grand Line and Holiday Parade, is Holidazzle. So we have over 30 participating locations, over 50 artists, vendors that are participating. So definitely a lot to do Friday, December 5th from 5 to 9 p.m. We do have the free trolley driving around that you can go to all the locations with the trolley, so that's really special. And it adds to the ambiance, the magic.
I think so too. And that's another night where sometimes you think, oh, it's too blustery, I'm not going to go out. But you go in and out of the shops and you meet people. I mean, there's a lot of people that come downtown for that event.
Oh yeah, hundreds. And this year we are doing passports. So we did that in Art Walk in May. So we're doing that. So you go to X amount of locations, you get them stamped by the businesses, signed off by the businesses, and then you get to enter to win prizes. So far already I have about 5 prizes that are going to be announced soon. One of them is a staycation at a local hotel. So it's really going to be a lot of fun. So you can not only shop and enjoy the night, but you can win prizes too.
It sounds like a great time. And I know sometimes they have a couple little snacks.
Always snacks.
So-
Everywhere you go.
So you don't, you can snack your way along the downtown area and you can buy some gifts for those people on your gift list or yourself.
Always for yourself. Don't forget about yourself.
Absolutely. And how many vendors did you say you have?
We'll have about 50 vendors this year again. So it's really 30 different locations, but about 50 vendors. So it's really nice, really great ambiance in all the locations. Here at our space right here, we even cater food. We have live entertainment, live music, and Visit Beloit is sponsoring a photo booth this year. So you can put on your little Christmas hats or you can have your little candy canes in the photos with you, and that is all free. So you can come here and enjoy the space as well.
Will they have props?
Oh yeah, definitely. You gotta have props. Yeah, the Grinch costume kind of stuff. Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Okay, and that's all on December 5th. It's a Friday night. So make sure you come down and start your holidays. We'll start your holiday with the Grand Light Parade. And then we'll go from there.
And then we will move to Holidazzle.
Absolutely.
Yes. So make sure you come on downtown.
Now, are you giving prizes for floats again?
Oh yeah, definitely. Any business or nonprofit that wants to be in the parade, there's probably still time to sign up, so you can call us. So yeah, we have about $350 in cash prizes that we give away for that.
Wow, that's worth it. And it's sort of like Disney. So everything has to be lit.
Yeah.
And it's just a fun night. There's music.
Yeah, there's like live dancers, live roller skaters that are lit up. Last year we even had a whole bunch of dogs in costumes, and I mean, it's really cute. All the kids get a big kick out of it. We actually put a video on our Facebook page last year, and that got a ton of hits. Everybody was so amazed with all the different floats and props that people use.
Well, it sounds
really
fun.
cute.
So catch some of this enthusiasm and come on downtown, check it out, and please, patronize the businesses that are down here and start out your holidays on a high note.
And shop small.
Thanks, Shauna.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm here with Mark Spreitzer, and Mark is currently our city council president, and we're here today to talk about how a resident could run for city council, and we'll get into a little bit more about local politics. But first, let's talk about the city council. So you're currently the council president. Mark, could you talk about how long you've been on council?
I've been on City Council since April 2011, and I've been Council President since this past April.
So Mark was one of our youngest elected City Council members, and he's quickly moved up the ranks to President, which is a huge honor. It means that our council sees him as a leader, and Mark's done a great job on our council, and what he's going to talk about is how you run for council. So when you chose to run for council, there's some things you have to do. What would a resident do if they want to run for City Council in the spring of 15?
So there's some basic paperwork that's involved to get on the ballot and register your campaign, and all that paperwork is available at City Hall in the City Clerk's office and can be picked up anytime. And the most important step is collecting signatures to actually get on the ballot. So you need 200 signatures from people who are eligible voters who live in the city of Beloit, and they have to sign and put their address and the date, and you have to collect those and turn them in. And it's good to turn in more than 200 so that if any of them don't count for any reason you have extras. So you can start doing that on December 1st, and they're due by January 6th. So you've got just over a month to collect them. And then there are a couple of other forms that need to be filed that you just need to fill out: a campaign registration statement and a declaration of candidacy. And once all of those are officially filed by January 6th, then that gets you on the ballot.
Right, and so you can pick up the packets now if you are interested in running for council, to kind of go over the information, maybe talk to your friends and family about your interest in it, and then you can start collecting signatures in December. Now, like Mark said, you want more signatures than necessary in case somebody scribbles or they're not 18 or something to that effect. Now, when they're put on the ballot, the election is in April, and that's the local election through the city, and that's also run through our clerk's office. If you have any questions, would you say the clerk's office is a good resource?
Absolutely.
So let's talk about the actual campaign. What did you do to run for office locally?
So as part of the actual campaign, you certainly want to have a sense of why you're running, what are the issues that you're concerned about, why do you want to be on the city council, so that you can explain that to voters. And you're probably going to want to raise some money to put together some information that you can distribute to people, whether that's flyers to hand out or yard signs or a mailing, things of that nature. You don't need to raise a ton of money to run for city council, but you're going to want to do something, and so it can be helpful to just open up a separate bank account to keep that separate from your personal finances. And as part of the campaign registration, you can select a treasurer, and you can either have a friend that does that or a spouse, or you can serve as your own treasurer if that's more convenient. And that's
Sure.
pretty common at the local level, so it's not something you need to worry a lot about doing. But then once you have a sense of what your message is, thinking about ways to get it out, and you can get lists of people who voted in previous city council elections, and that's a great resource to start, whether you're going to be knocking on their doors or sending a mailing or making phone calls to them. That way you're reaching out to people that typically are engaged in local politics and are likely to vote in the election, and can spend your limited money in a way that's likely to reach voters who will be participating in that election. And I really found that knocking on doors was the most valuable way of reaching people. It's a great way to have those face-to-face conversations, meet your neighbors, find out what their concerns are, and share your vision for the city, and get to know the whole city. And I think that was definitely what made the difference in my election, was getting out and knocking on doors all across the city and meeting people and giving them a chance to know who I was.
And the council members in Beloit are elected at large, so I mean, you have to really cover the whole city. So you want to be strategic with how you're getting a hold of the people that will be voting for you. And like Mark said, I think the most important thing is that you need to have a passion for what you're doing, and then secondary would be the election. And we don't really get that cutthroat locally. I mean, we just want to know that you're a good person and that you're interested in the betterment of the community as a whole. Now, unfortunately, Mark's position will be open next year because he was just elected to a new position. Can you talk about the new position that you were elected into that's now opening your spot? And by the way, your term is up in April,
Right.
So it will be consistent with his new term.
So my term is ending in April, and I'm not running again because I've been elected to the Wisconsin State Assembly, and in that role I'll be representing most of the city of Beloit, as well as communities west and northwest of us, over into Orfordville and into Greene County with Broadhead, and then north up to Albany and Evansville. So starting this January, I will be as a state representative and continuing to serve on city council for a couple of months as my term ends while I begin that role, and then transitioning to just being a state representative when my council term ends. So there are 3 seats up this April, and I will not be running again, so there will be at least one opening for a new council member to come in.
And like Mark said, you just take that to the next level then, so you have that many more constituents, and that works great for us because we know Mark's a great advocate for the city of Beloit already. So selfishly, we're really excited for Mark, even more than we are for him personally, because we know that he's already been a great advocate for us locally, and so he can take that to the next level. Luckily, the area that you cover is very similar to ours. I mean, it's a little bit more rural, but you've already known that pretty well. So that's really exciting for both Mark and the city of Beloit. We always like to see, fresh newbies on the council, and then there's just kind of a learning curve on that. But if you are elected to council, we do a new council member orientation. And so did you find that valuable for you when you were on council?
Absolutely. It goes over details on what the city budget looks like, how city departments are organized, and what the role of the city council is. And I think those are all some of the most important things to understand.
Right.
There'll be different ordinances or issues that come up that you're not familiar with that you'll have to get familiar with after you're elected, and you can't prepare for all of those. There are lots of different things that might come up, but if you have a sense of what the city budget looks like and what the role of the council is in terms of the council has one employee, the city manager, and the city manager handles the day-to-day administration of the city government, and have a sense of what that government structure looks like, that's really important as you're deciding to run for council and coming into council to understand what that role is.
And if anyone is interested in running for council but kind of wants to know more, I would encourage you to reach out to your city council members. I mean, any of you guys would be welcome to that.
Yeah.
Because they really take a lot of pride in doing it, but also we want you to know what you're getting into. There's always been examples in some cities where people just don't really know what they're getting into, and it's good to know what your authority is and then maybe isn't, if that's something that you're concerned about. So all of our council members, they appreciate phone calls from residents, but if you're interested in it, reach out. And you can call them. All their information is available on the city's website. Now, Mark, is there anything else you would want to tell someone that's interested in running for elected office, maybe the time commitment, or is your phone ringing off the hook all hours of the night, or what?
Sure. First of all, I would say come to a city council meeting or watch it on TV if you haven't already done that. There's plenty of time between now and January, and then after that, between then and the election in April, to do that. In terms of time commitment, we meet twice a month for our regular meetings, and then I do definitely get phone calls and emails, and it's important to be able to check email on a pretty regular basis, because that's probably where most of the communication comes in, whether that's from city staff or from residents who have questions and concerns. There are committee meetings. Most council members are on 2 committees, and those could meet once a month, or they could meet a fair bit more than that. And as a new council member, you'll have some say in which committees you're on and make sure that they can fit with your work schedule and other time commitments. So it is a significant commitment, but it's definitely something that can be done on top of working a full-time job, which, except for those of us who are retired, we all have full-time jobs and manage to balance that. But definitely there will be a couple days a year where you'll probably want to plan to take a vacation day to spend on council business, because we do an all-day strategic planning workshop, an all-day budget workshop, and other things that come up like that.
Well, Mark, congratulations on your election to the Assembly, and thanks for being on our show today. We always appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, I'm at the Beloit Public Library today with Vicki Hahn. Your title is a long one.
Public Services Librarian.
But it goes on.
In charge of homebound delivery services, Adopt-A-Shelf Volunteers and Volunteer Coordinator, co-founder of the State Line Genealogy Club and blog. General help.
And that's not all. Vicki's in charge of the warming tree, formerly called the mitten tree.
Correct.
Right? So she's here today to give us a little bit of information about how we can donate and where the items go to. And tell us about the tree, Vicki.
Well, it has been known as the mitten tree for 10 years. And I have a very good volunteer who last year kind of learned about it and started making some things. And in the meanwhile, for this year, she made about 130 hats and scarves and mittens altogether, which is about half of the ones we have donated. Each one of these mittens on the tree represents 10 items. So we already have 280 items that have been donated.
That's amazing.
We officially collect them this year from October 18th to December 1st. And then I distribute them to local organizations that have children connections that need mittens, hats, scarves, socks, even baby blankets. And people either buy things or they make them, they knit them, they crochet them, they sew them out of fleece, including gloves as well as mittens. But the story about the volunteer is not only that, this year she suggested that we rename it the warming tree, because that's more the concept that we're looking for, and it includes all the items. We do not take coats, they're too big, I can't carry everything. But I distribute them to several places, including the school district, WIC, Head Start, the domestic violence shelter, and maybe one or two others, depending. And we've had, some years, we've only had 280 items for the whole year. So we're already at 280, and we're hoping with the theme of the warming tree that our volunteer gave us, that we can get a lot more items. And she also knit about 20 hats that are red with feathers in them. And then the King Dids hat from Bartholomew Cubbins, Dr. Seuss's Bartholomew Cubbins,
my.
where he magically keeps getting more and more hats, and there's 500 hats of Bartholomew Cubbins. So our goal is at least 1,000. We could take in probably a couple thousand and
Oh, absolutely.
to meet the need in the Beloit area,
For-
the city of Beloit.
For all those little kittens who lose their mittens.
Yes.
In the winter. And the library has a lot of good resources, obviously, it's the library. But here are a couple, and you have a whole display behind me
Yes.
of crocheting and start to knit. So you don't really have to know how to knit. You
Right.
can learn.
Yes,
Right?
including DVDs on how to do it. And, we get some pretty fancy, interesting things, and people have fun. One of the ones in our glass display case at the front is a snake scarf, so that when you put the two ends together, the little tongue sticks out of the snake with the little eyes. So,
Gosh, okay.
just really cute things. But a beginning knitter or crocheter can just simply crochet or knit a straight stretch and
scarf.
make it a scarf. And they're little kids, all the way from babies to 18-year-olds in the schools that we're supplying. Mostly the smaller sizes we need, because I have more places to distribute the smaller things. But somebody just learning how to, that little kid doesn't care how beautiful it is, or how, if you missed a stitch, or,
Right.
dropped a stitch, whatever, as long as it's warm.
Right.
And they just feel very special.
I would think so. And like you said, you don't have to knit. You can purchase an item and drop it off.
Yes.
And know that it's going to go to a good
Yes.
home.
Yes.
And today is kind of a blustery day outside,
Oh, I
and so
blew in.
it gives us a little bit of a feeling, a taste of what's to come.
Yes.
And the children in Beloit would really appreciate being warm this winter.
Yes. And I have feedback from the organizations and some of the parents that we get things to. They are very appreciative of it, because they don't have the money to buy their kids all the things they need. Kids lose things, so they come to school, and the teacher will make sure that they have a nice pair of warm mittens, because we've given it to them. But not only that, it really helps the children feel special and not
That's what needed.
discriminated, I
Right.
guess, because
Right.
they don't have to say, I don't have any mittens, my hands are freezing because I don't. They've got some cool little mittens somebody's given.
That's nice. Now, if anyone wants to drop something off, do they leave it at the circulation desk, or can they bring it back to you?
I have about 8 places where I find things that have been left for
Okay.
me, and all the people on the staff know where that is.
Okay.
They can be dropped off at the checkout desk, the reference desk, the children's desk, and then the staff get them to me about 4 or 5 different places in the back part. So I know all my places, and I look for them. And the other thing is, we take donations year-round. If it's past the time I've distributed things, the week of December 1st, then I hold on to them, and I have them ready for the next year.
Oh, that's good.
Every year we have a little bit of a seed, for the next year.
Good.
So don't ever worry about you're too late.
Okay. I know the library is going to be closed for a couple days for the Thanksgiving holiday,
Yes.
but otherwise you can drop them off anytime during library hours. Just pop in and pop out, and certainly would be very appreciated.
Right. And we're closed Thanksgiving Thursday, and the Wednesday before that we close at 5:30 instead of 9 o'clock. But our regular hours are Monday through Thursday from 9:30 a.m. till 9 p.m. And Friday and Saturday, we're open from 9:30 a.m. till 5:30 p.m.
Okay, so thank you so much, Vicki, for giving us this little bit of information. I hope your tree fills up.
I think it's on its way.
Thank you.
We'll have a record year.
Hi, I'm Linda from Visit Beloit, and we have a great new website that we wanted to show you today. It is a recruitment website that Visit Beloit was commissioned by 2020 and Vision Partners to create this great new website. It's a recruitment tool, but it also is great for visitors or for our local people to really find out what's going on in Beloit. We have the Live section, and it just shows little stories about people who live here and their stories, families, people who are coming here for the corporations, people who are coming home, and Larry Arft, who he feels like Beloit is his home. He feels like he's finally found the place where he belongs. We have the Work section. This tells about different corporations that we have in the city and the amazing things that they are doing. And we have so many great stories to tell. We will constantly be updating this website to keep you up to speed on what's going on. The Learn section, it tells about Beloit College, University of Rock County, the School District of Beloit and the School District of Beloit-Turner, Blackhawk Technical College, and it has a section that will just tell you all about different learning opportunities that we have. The Innovate section, it has some really, really good stories about Diane Hendricks, Jeff Adams and the Confluence, and you should read the stories about the Confluence because there's some really neat things that are coming up in between Beloit and South Beloit, and some very fun things that are going to be happening. The Create section. This will tell you all about the great events that we have, music and more at Harry's Place, dancing at Harry's Place, the Beloit Janesville Symphony and our 4th of July concert, the theater that we have in Beloit, and our arts. It's just truly an amazing, amazing place that we have, and so many people don't know what's going on in Beloit, so it's been a fun website to put together. Experience Beloit. If you can go over and jump them down. Experience Beloit will tell you about some of the great events that we have, the Beloit International Film Festival, the Art Walk, Plein Air, Farmers Market, Beloit Snappers, and Holidazzle. And then, of course, our great shopping in Beloit, and if you click on these links, it will take you to short videos that will show you what the shops are like. The Play section. We have beautiful parks all over the city of Beloit, and it's kind of fun to see the different ones on here. Bicycling, new routes that they formed. We have skydiving in Beloit and soaring out at the Beloit Airport. We have golf at several different places, paddling on the river and Turtle Creek. This is our beautiful Tiffany Bridge. And the Y has so many different programs that we have with volleyball, softball, soccer, all kinds of things, fun things to do. Engage, or Savor. The Savor section, it has different stories about our restaurants, Bushel and Peck's, the Rock Bar and Grill, the 615 Club, Maryland Houston Steak Joint, and the Butterfly Club. And we will be adding new restaurants all the time, and it's kind of fun to read in here about the history of these restaurants and how they came about. The Engage section. This really highlights a lot of the amazing people and organizations that we have in Beloit. Vets Roll with their trip that they take every year. Rising Professionals of Beloit, and we have a few more surprises that are in the works right now, and so we'll be putting them up shortly, so check back on them. The Remember section highlights our history that we have here with the Native American Indian mounds, Roy Chapman Andrews. The corn curl was invented in Beloit, and I'm not sure if you knew that. And really, the Beloit Historical Society has just an abundance of information that you can click on that link and it will take you to the Historical Society's page. Capture. Capture will show you fantastic photos in Beloit, and they're never the same. They pull off different feeds from Flickr and Instagram, and every time you click on it, you'll be able to see new great pictures from all over Beloit. We have a resource section. This resource section will take you to Visit Beloit's website, the Chamber's website, DBA's website, to our great blog for Visit Beloit. There's always new, fresh stories on there, and it's fun to hear different people's perspectives. Our city services, health, housing, and schools. So you can see how it will be a great recruitment tool, but also you can find out all kinds of information for local people and visitors alike. And we have our views section. This section has all kinds of great videos that we have, and it's really fun to see who's sending us videos. The Beloit College, the Beloit Memorial High School, the Downtown Beloit Association. We have all kinds of new videos that will be coming on there, so check back and watch the videos. And now I will leave you with just a fantastic video so that you can really experience Beloit for yourself. Thank you.
Well, that wraps up our November edition of the Beloit Today Show.
Apparently it does, and really we didn't talk much about Thanksgiving, so.
We haven't.
What are you doing for Thanksgiving, Beth?
I don't know, we'll probably get together and then take a nap, watch some football.
Sounds like a plan, I'll be over.
Oh, okay, sure. Well, and speaking of Thanksgiving, the library has a special program running in November 10th through the 22nd, and it's for those people that might have fines.
Oh, it's called Food for Fines. So you can bring a non-perishable food item to the library and they will reduce your fine. But the food item needs to be unopened and unexpired. Please don't clean out your cabinets, bring all the old food.
When you're at the grocery store, you think you have a couple fines, one item equals $1 here. Mm-hmm. So if you maybe were late or maybe one of your children were late and they have a fine, that's a good program. And then it gets distributed locally, which is even better.
Absolutely. And I guess even if you don't have a fine and you feel like bringing some items over to the library, I think they'll gladly take all those items.
That's right. And then afterwards, on Friday after Thanksgiving, you can go to the lighted parade and make a weekend of it.
Absolutely. Sounds fun. So that wraps up another edition of the Beloit Today Show, and we hope you have a great holiday, and we'll see you soon in December.